We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Have you ever wondered why the news plays the same 5 stories again and again? Let me give you a little hint. Brainwashing and repetition is the most basic form of brainwashing. Join me as we look at the news cycle and talk about why the mainstream media is so gutless and afraid to report the truth. Good afternoon and welcome to, what is this? Conspiracy News with Michael Strange. This is the show where we talk about the conspiracy that is the news, meaning that it's not so simple as just reading the news anymore, is it? If you can't politicize it, if you can't use it as a cudgel to make you hate your neighbor, then it isn't news, is it? If it's not the Kardashians hating on the other whatever family is, whatever the garbage is, I don't know. I don't even watch that stuff. But if you can't do something like that and make some news out of nothing to really change the look of a political news cycle, or you can't inject some BS politics into a regular news cycle, then it isn't the news, is it? Not anymore. And so that's why that is the conspiracy that's the news. So, yeah, that's what this show is all about. And as a result of that, we talk about all those things, including just regular-ass news. We look at that. We look at propaganda and see what kind of the news cycles are trying to tell us at a particular time. And I really believe that if you pay close enough attention, you can spot these psyops, these information operations that are happening in real time. If you just notice how quickly the news changes when something negative comes out against a government or against like a large corporation like Facebook or something like this, is they get bad news, right? So think of it this way, and just as an example of the way we look at the news here on this show, is just follow Project Veritas. And when they do something negative, like against Facebook, like they've got an insider, supposedly inside Facebook, that's kind of spilling details on Mark Zuckerberg and some of the Facebook crew, of the higher-ups at Facebook, right? So follow that news cycle and watch when something breaks from Project Veritas. Watch how quickly it starts to come out. It starts to gain just a little bit of traction, but then something happens, and they typically turn it over into something else and create a crisis, or Meghan Markle's having a baby or things like this, right? And then they just flood the news cycle with all this other crap, and so it just pushes that stuff to the bottom. I mean, that's all exactly like information operations 101 at this point. And that and again, right? So it's complete dishonesty. They don't like the bad look that's hovering at the top of the news cycle. So what they'll do is they'll dump it with a bunch of garbage and then try and push it down, which is exactly why if you want the spiciest dirt, check news on a Friday night. They call that dumping day. And so as a result of dumping day, they expect for this information to kind of go away over the weekend. They'll dump it Friday night about 4, 5, 6 p.m. Eastern time. And then this information that's derogatory to the government or whatever, people will have their weekend and then a couple days for things to happen, and then Monday comes and the news cycle starts again, and they've got a couple days to make this go away, get ahead of it, or start with something brand new on Monday. So I'm telling you, just if you pay close enough attention, you can tell what the hell's going on And again, that's what we do. That's why we do this show. That's why we've always done this show, and that's what's up. That's what's up. If in case you're new and don't know what's going on, the other part of this show is transparency is an important part of this. We've always done this live. We'll always do this live. If you want to be a part of the show today or any other time, you can give us a call at 702-957-1037. Just click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. We're also running a Discord server, which is a voice client, a chat client. If you don't know what Discord is, come join us. It's lots of smart and interesting people over there sharing good information. A lot of conversation going on right now as I'm doing this show. I'm seeing some people in there talking back and forth about some interesting things. So do join the Discord if you have not. Troubledminds.org is the official website. Click the Discord link; it'll take you right in, and you'll be a part of the gang. The thing is too is Troubled Minds. That's the other show. Many of you know already, but let's plug that. That's going to be tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific, and that's the show where we call that the beer show. This is a coffee show. That is the beer show, and that's when we do aliens, conspiracy, and the paranormal. So come check that out. We did the Boogeyman last night, and tonight is to be determined. I do not know yet. So hopefully, we've done a lot of I don't know. I don't know. I haven't decided just yet, but it matters not because we have the news in front of us. Let's hit the news, and this is the big story today. Actually, let's start with this one. This is reported by Wired.com, but they're not the only ones reporting this. This is being reported everywhere because the NASA lands the Perseverance rover on Mars. The science mission, The science mission will launch the first drone to fly on another planet, attempt making oxygen in space, and search for signs of ancient life. Okay, so that's what's happening here. So, in the mission support area at Lockheed Martin's campus in Littleton, Colorado, masked people sat close to computers flying 3 spacecraft in orbit around Mars. These 3, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, Maven, and Odyssey, were all tasked in one way or another with downloading data from another spacecraft, the Mars Perseverance rover, which was attempting to land on the red planet. Information from these orbiters would help engineers learn about Perseverance's status as it made its way through the atmosphere and determine whether it survived. Space is not a place to go. Space is not a place to go. Read the words painted on one wall. Space is a place to do. Oh, okay. Well, that's just cheeky and clever. But okay, anyway, so here we go. So the Lockheed engineers have been working on this project for years, and today Scholes and his team could finally watch it be put to use. But that's all they could do is watch. Their system was automated and would do its job without them. And so they watched as the human-made object fell from the sky, aiming to touch down in a crater called Jezero. The landing, scheduled for 12:55 p.m. Pacific time, would mark the end of the Perseverance rover's journey through space and the beginning of its stay at this desolate destination, which, of course, a depression that was billions of years ago, home to a lake and a river delta. It's a place life could theoretically have once survived. So they're hoping to find that there's going to be life on Mars here, and at least proof of life in the past. And scientific proof. It's not true till science confirms it is. So scientific proof. But this is as good a spot as any, and this is pretty interesting stuff. We're putting up putting some things on Mars and doing some things and getting out there, and so that's the good news. The good news: some of this stuff is happening. If we're going to actually have people on Mars at some point, we're going to need things like this. Doing greater and greater scientific expeditions to the red planet. Of course, we need to find out a lot about the soil there. We need to find a lot about the radiation levels as they change with the seasons. I mean, there's so many things that need to be measured at this point that still are kind of sketchy as far as the data we get back. So every time a new rover lands on Mars, it's new data sets coming back. And I don't mean like the social media data sets. I mean like actual scientific data. So lots of good stuff happening today, and this is good. This is a good thing. I watched the end of this and saw it land. And as a matter of fact, let's watch this. This is not copyrighted because it's NASA, and NASA is public money, so we're going to watch this. This is less than 2 minutes. This is the moment when the Perseverance rover lands on Mars. Let's watch just a little bit.
altitude of about 1 kilometer off the surface of Mars.
TRN Safety Bravo.
We have completed our terrain relative navigation. Current speed is about 30 meters per second, altitude of about 300 meters off the surface of Mars. We have started our constant velocity accordion, which means we are conducting the sky crane, about to conduct the sky crane maneuver.
We've lost direct to Earth tones.
As expected. As expected.
Sky crane maneuver has started. About 20 meters off the surface.
We're getting signals from MRO.
UHF is good. Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the sands of past life. At this point, the descent stage has flown away to a safe distance. Perseverance is continuing to transmit direct through Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to Earth.
Okay, so if you're interested in this, this is the moment that Perseverance touched down on Mars, and like we were saying that as of this point in time in space travel and the rest of this, that 40% of missions to Mars are successful. So for whatever reason, it proves to be a difficult thing, and many times when they try and land, they actually crash and burn. So we were going to keep a close eye on this, like I told you we would, and it turns out this was as they're telling us a successful launch. What's up, Ponderosa says, so what desert they doing this in? I think Canada. I think something like that. I don't know. The tundra in Canada. I have no idea. But there's some theories where people do say that we can't get to Mars, et cetera, so on. So that's where that's coming from. That's pretty funny. But supposedly this thing has landed on. I'm going to say supposedly this thing has landed on Mars, and this is the moment when it happened, and if we're out there and it's doing its thing, then this should be good. This should be good for humanity. I mean, Elon Musk. I think the thing is with that. I know that may be tongue in cheek there. That Ponderosa, maybe not. I don't know. But Elon Musk believes we can go to Mars, and he's works with some of the top engineers in the world. So I would think that if it was impossible, that he wouldn't be wasting his time. Otherwise, it'd be charade, shenanigans. I don't know. Anyway, so what do you guys think? As always, love to hear what you think about this. This is the NASA Perseverance rover has landed on Mars. It was a success today, as they say, and this is a good thing. This is a bad thing. You tell me. I don't know. 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link. Come join us. Join the conversation. And let's continue. Let's move on with the news. Let's see. What else do we got? Dolly kill. Dolly, what's it? Dolly says, can't go back to the moon, but Mars is okay. Well, people, I don't know. I can't twist myself in a knot to explain it, but yeah, okay, all right. Anyway, what do you guys think? 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link, get in here, and we'll talk about this stuff. Here we go. Now, I'm happy to see finally, right, for all the climate change garbage that we see out there. And a lot of it is garbage. Climate change alarmism, climate change this, climate change that. I'm glad to finally see somebody out there. The New Yorker steps up and says this. Headline is this: the enormous risk of atmospheric hacking. Yeah, no shit. This is what I've been saying all along. It cannot be done. This is like skipping the nuclear part of the nuclear winter and just going straight to the fallout section of the world itself. It's just awful. But anyway, So this guy, let's see, Bill McKibben wrote this, and this is on the New Yorker again. And so he's talking about this. Sometime in the next 2 weeks, he says, an independent advisory committee is expected to issue a recommendation on a request from a team of Harvard scientists to fly a balloon from Kiruna in Sweden's Lapland region. The team would test a flight platform that might someday be used to inject a sample of aerosols into the stratosphere. Though this initial request is only for a test of a flight platform, a successful run would likely mean more tests with aerosols of calcium carbonate and sulfates. These particles could hack the planet's climate by reflecting some of the sun's light back out of space before it can reach the ground. It's an ominous moment in the planet's history, one we should back away from for now. Finally, somebody's actually saying this. Somebody needs to be saying this, and lots of people need to be saying this. It's insane to me that we have this we're going to listen to these jerks from Harvard. Oh, okay. They may be experts, but holy shit, you can't really believe that your climate models are so solid that you feel comfortable putting particulates in the air. I've been talking about this a lot recently because it's on the top of my mind, because this is literally the types of things that ruin civilizations. This could bring down everything if they do this wrong. Okay, if they do it at all, even. So think just for instance, now, like I was saying recently, now we're all aware of all this stuff happening in Texas, right? There's snow in Texas right now. This is a cold snap. These are things you cannot anticipate happening. And so, of course, right, these weather models and weather predictions and all these things where they're so sure of themselves. They're so sure that now we have something like this happen. So imagine if they had particulates in the sky now, if they had already started this geoengineering situation on a mass level, on a huge scale, that it would be worse in Texas, right? So the second you start meddling with Mother Nature, it will find a way to get at you, and this is not good. So finally, somebody out there is writing something about this, saying, "Hey guys, we can't do this stuff. This is insanity, and we're gonna end up being our own end by just being stupid, by being too proud as humans." Back to that human hubris, how we just can't we just can't let it be. I mean, this always exists, right? This possibility always exists, and should be like the final thing that we should ever consider. Okay, because again, we just can't predict what tomorrow is going to bring. As much as we want to think we can, these computer models and all this other stuff, they don't know shit, man. They don't know about this stuff. That they can make pretty good guesses sometimes, but most of the time these models are bunk. They've been changing for decades, and there's climate alarmism. There's always a new 2012 or 2015 or 2018 or 2024 or 2030 or 2036, or they keep changing the damn date. It's a moving goalpost. So tell me, if they knew so much about it, how come the damn date keeps changing? Can somebody explain that to me? If they know exactly what's going on, and they can tell us what the weather is going to be like exactly within a couple degrees 100 years from now, why does the model keep changing? Why does the information keep changing from 10, 12, 15, 20, 30 years ago? Now it's this, whatever the hell it is today. Because none of them are right. None of them are right. That's why. None of them are right. I'm sorry. It's just not. Okay, here we go. So, he says, from this article, the argument in its favor is that humanity has done so little to address the climate crisis, despite 30 years of scientific warning, that we might have no choice but to follow our injection of CO2 with an injection of sulfate aerosols. Think of it as Narcan on a global scale. Geoengineering is not something to do lightly, Harvard's Daniel Schrag told Colbert. The reason we're thinking about it is because the real world has dealt us a shitty hand. Oh, really? Is that why you're thinking about doing it? I want to talk to this guy. I'm going to try to see if I can reach out to this dude. These people that are in favor of this, no. It's absurd to me. You can't be so sure that your stupid little computer spit out this little piece of paper that said, "Yep, gonna be warm," that you're willing to literally risk humanity from just making a huge mistake like this. Anyway, so right from the article here, it would be stupid to say Let's see, it would be stupid to say that we will never need to consider a step this horrible. Kim Stanley Robinson, in his masterly new novel, The Ministry for the Future, makes it a plot point. After an epic... What the hell is this? Come on. Don't tell me about some asshole's book. Tell me about the thing. Here we go. The disastrous consequences of termination shock would grow as we cower year after year under the flimsy stratospheric sunshade, he wrote, hoping that technology to suck carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere on a massive scale becomes practical before disaster strikes. It's also worth imagining how whoever does engineer the sky will be blamed for every weather disaster henceforth. It's bad enough trying to deal with the cascade of nonsense about green energy causing the Texas power outages. Oh, I see. Again, right? Like these guys in their weather stuff. It is all so unbelievably stupidly politicized, all of it, that you can't even get an honest conversation here. You just can't do it. It's bad. It's bad. Okay. All right. No cursing. I got you. I see you there in the chat. What's up? Ponderosa says, wasn't that the plot from the Matrix to block out the sun? You are correct. That's what the machines did. They blocked out the sun, knowing that the human race and basically life on planet Earth would shrivel up, and so the machines could take over. Yeah, that was a plot from the Matrix. You are absolutely correct. So anyway, like somebody out there's like Bill McKibben guy actually wrote this article, and he's talking about this is insane. Like this should be literally the last step, the very final thing we try when this world is on fire, because it's just dumb. Because if we're wrong, we could really screw ourselves in a bad way. Okay, so there's more of this. Let's see. Actually, not that one. Hold on. Speaking of that, let's go to Texas. So Texas, this happened in Texas. All right. Texas blackouts show the power grid isn't ready for climate change. And again, right? So here we are with we can't even have a cold snap somewhere, which again is unprecedented for Texas and the rest of this. But again, so if we know so much about climate, how come we didn't see this coming? We can't, right? Because it's impossible. Because you can't. You don't know. Like it's such a complex system. I don't give a damn how big the computer is they put the data into. If you're using wrong or incomplete data, you're going to get an incorrect conclusion, and that's what's happening with this. So this is terrible. Again, like I said, I've got family in Texas, and I just got text messages before we started. They're boiling water out there. They're boiling water to consume it because it's not safe now. Like the water in Texas is not safe. And so they're stuck. Their power grid is shut down. They still have no power in many cases. In places where they do have power, there's rolling brownouts, and this whole bit. They get 15 minutes of power every hour type of thing, which is not enough to heat anything up. This is awful. This is awful. But again, you can't have anything without these assholes just politicizing the hell out of it. Texas blackouts show power grid isn't ready for climate change. Oh, okay, got it. But isn't climate change hot? Isn't that the whole point? Hot. So explain to me how a cold snap means it's not ready for hot climate change. Please explain. They're two very different things. It's two very, very extremely different things. And you guys know this stuff pisses me off. Here we go. When a few 100,000 California homes and businesses lost power for several hours last summer, Texas Senator Ted Cruz wrote that the Golden State is now unable to perform even basic functions of civilization, like having reliable electricity. What Texans have experienced over the last few days is far worse. You see how it is? It's like slinging mud between California and Texas. They couldn't be two different types of states. And again, politicized. It's like a stupid Twitter feud between this state and that state. Like, oh yeah, look, you guys, your power grid is all messed up now. This is incredibly stupid. Here we go. More than 4 million homes and businesses saw their electricity shut off as powerful cold snaps sent temperatures into the single digits, driving up demand for heating while simultaneously freezing much of the energy infrastructure that would normally keep people warm. Rolling blackouts began in the wee hours of Monday morning and continued into Tuesday evening. At least 20 people reported dead in storm-related incidents in the eastern half of the country, including several in Texas. And experts said it was all but certain that the death toll would rise. Harris County, home to Houston, reported hundreds of cases of carbon monoxide poisoning as people tried to stay warm by using portable generators or running their cars indoors. See, don't do that. That's bad too. But all the difference between the events in Texas and California is more limited in rolling blackouts last year. There's a common lesson. Extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and more severe as the climate crisis worsens, right? So they get to cherry pick. They get to say what is climate change and what isn't climate change, right? So, and this is what I mean. This is how when you allow an irresponsible media that has a political backing and a definite a hand in this game of handout, from government handout type stuff. They have a vested interest in this, is what I'm trying to say. The media, because they're backing up the political establishment. But this is not fair. Like it's just not accurate. None of this stuff's accurate. If you want to get, I'd love to see somebody that can make the case and tell me that all of this is because of man-made anthropomorphic climate change. I'm sorry, anthropogenic climate change is the term. I always say the other one when it's the other one. But anthropogenic climate change. Please, I'd love to see some smart person make the case why every single weather event that we don't like at this point is now politicized into climate change. I'd love to know if anybody out there. Yeah. So speaking of this real quick and this stupid politicizing all this, look at this. This is from this asshole on Twitter. And this guy's name is Cenk Uygur, and I can't stand him. He's a lying propagandist piece of shit. I'll say it. He is. I can't stand this man. He's a blustering, lying propagandist. Yeah, you fill in the blank. This is what he tweets. Only upside of Texas power outages is people like Joe Rogan, who were so proud to leave California and move to Texas, freezing their asses off. They said they wanted less government. Congrats. Mission accomplished. I hope you're not asking the government to come help you. Hashtag freedom. You see how petty these people are? It's unbelievably stupid. They could not see the forest for the trees because everything to them is the party. And this idiot, man, I'm telling you, this dude is one of the dumbest people on the planet. He's a rhetorical idiot. And all he wants is power for the party and for the progressive wing of the party, even. And it drives me nuts. The guy drives me nuts. He's a liar. He takes things out of context. He slings mud. And he's backed by the establishment. This dude got millions of dollars to run some shitty network that nobody wants to watch, and he's put up on a pedestal by YouTube, no less. I mean, this is the type of stuff, right? Like, we politicize everything, and look at this. Look at that. Really? So I thought I was being flippant, and I apologized for being, haha, we're not snowing over here when I said that a couple days ago. And it was a short-sighted comment, and I felt bad about it afterward because there are people out there suffering, and I was making fun of it. Look at this asshole. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a damn. He's like, ha, 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 right there on Twitter, like a fucking child. No, come on. You want to piss me off? Bring up taxes, bring up health care, and bring up this dude. Cenk Uygur is a... I'll leave it there. All right, let's do a quick word from our sponsor, which is you. Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up the two accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us. Okay, what's up? Axel says jet stream weakening is a consequence of Arctic warming. Okay, so are you telling me for sure 100% that the reason Texas is knee-deep in snow right now is because of global warming? Is that what you're saying? And how sure of you are that? How sure of that are you? Whatever. Anyway, so this is what I'm saying, right? Like we want every single damn hurricane that pops. We're like, oh, oh, that happens. Oh, it gets hot in California. Oh, it gets cold in Texas. Oh, every single damn thing that happens with the weather now is politicized, and it can't be all of it, can it? You're kidding me. Okay. Anyway, I don't buy it. I don't buy what the press is feeding us with this. I just don't buy what the academics are feeding us with this, because again, they're talking about putting particulates in the sky. They're literally talking about possible Armageddon by our own hand, and we're supposed to take them seriously. I have a hard time with that. I have a very hard time with that. They just cannot see the forest for the trees and expect us to be like, all right, let's just throw it in the air. Let's see what happens. All right, anyway, let's go to this. This is from MSN.com. I'm off the climate change. I'm off. I'm over it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It pisses me off. All right, here we go. Estonia report. Russia bets on COVID-19 weakening the West for our own rise in international affairs. All right, let's see. So, Estonia's Foreign Intelligence Agency said Wednesday that Russia is counting on the COVID-19 pandemic to weaken unity in the West, which would help Moscow gain a more prominent role in international affairs and lead to declining Western influence on the global stage. The Kremlin thinks the pandemic will force Western nations to focus on domestic policy and economic problems and facilitate the emergence of populist and extremist movements, the Estonian Foreign Intelligence Service said in its annual report. Quote, for its part, Russia is prepared to add fuel to the flames to encourage these trends, the report states. Therefore, 2021 will again see Russian influence operations designed to create and deepen divides within and between Western societies, including at the European Union level. Yeah. And, yeah. Dolly says climate change and DeLong make Mike angry. Not really. I mean, I'm not really mad. Part of it's theater. You gotta be passionate about something, right? Okay. Anyway, but the authors of the 79-page report document said Russia's strategy would likely include attempts to discredit COVID-19 vaccines developed in Western countries, especially the one made by British-Swedish company AstraZeneca. Russian propaganda has labeled the vaccine AstraZeneca developed with Oxford University in England as a monkey vaccine. Yeah, right here in the article, it says it right there. There you go. Russian propaganda has labeled the vaccine AstraZeneca developed with Oxford University in England as a monkey vaccine. It says it right there. With these smear campaigns, Russia hopes, on the one hand, to create a more favorable position for its own vaccines on the world market, on the other hand, to promote its strategic ambition to show itself as being the first among the major powers to provide a solution to the COVID-19 crisis, the report said. So, I mean, it's whatever, right? I mean, it is. These are the types of things I would expect these, world powers to be doing. Because that's just what they do, right? Like, you try and undermine the other guy, and you better believe they're stoking all this stuff that's pissing us off over here. Like, if you turn on the news cycle, it makes me wonder how much these Russian powers, like the Chinese and the Russians and other folks, even the European Union, are pressing on the pressure points over here, trying to break this country, trying to break this down, trying to turn it over into a steaming pile of whatever you want to call it. But I think it is. I think it's just par for the course. But interesting that this is what. Oh yeah, and taxes. Yeah, don't bring up taxes. But okay, all right. So anyway, what do you guys think? As always, what do you think about all this stuff? Taking calls on any of this stuff, or anything else. If you want to talk about anything else, you guys know what to do. I'm not going to try and say, no, let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what you want to talk about. 702-957-1037, troublederminds.org. Click the Discord link. That's 702-957-1037. Get in here, and we'll talk about this stuff. Okay, so, yeah, that's what's going on. Let's go to, here we go. Here's another one. Actually, this is supposed to be a group of the other part, the third part of that climate change before I just about lost it. But anyway, okay, let's go with this. Euronews.com. We'll just do this one real fast. Deforestation could be cooling the planet down, say scientists. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Awesome. More trees do not make for a cooler planet, according to a new study in the U.S. One environmental scientist argues that deforestation is not always harmful for the planet. Christopher A. Williams, a professor at Clark University's Graduate School of Geography in Worcester, Massachusetts, says that instead of warming up the Earth, deforestation can actually cool it down. But some experts are concerned that Williams' work is likely to be misconstrued as permission to continue deforesting, which is not his intention. All right, so what is it? So do we have science or do we not? Okay, now you see how everything is framed in the context of warming. All right, of warming, every single thing. So this study suggests, basically, if you read the thing, I've read it. It says that you end up the forests retain heat. All right, because of the cover, the cover from the sun. Right, so the heat gets into it, and it kind of acts like a like an igloo, so to speak, right? Like it keeps the heat inside of these forests and retains heat in the atmosphere. And so they're saying that if you chop these things down, deforestation, you can cool the planet, et cetera, so on. Clearly, I mean, I just don't know where to start. Anyway, whatever. I'm going to just leave this one because it's going to piss me off. But you understand, like literally everything is being framed in the warming, the global warming type of thing. Like this is, again, like how sure are we? This is my problem. You cannot do things like geoengineer when you're not absolutely certain. And okay, and if that's the case, and we are really warming at the rate we say we are, and it's going to be dangerous, and all the rest of the things they're trying to say, there's time, right? There's time to put these particulates in the air, like 100 years from now, when they can actually determine whether they're the mitigation effects they've done and tried to work on for the last 100 years are working or not, or whatever, right? And then you can actually measure the freaking temperatures and not like base everything off freaking computer models. Anyway, let's see. Good stuff in the chat. What's up, guys? Okay. All right. Like I said, it pisses me off. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Conspiracy News with Michael Strange. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. This is Conspiracy News with Michael Strange, and we're talking about all kinds of things. We're talking about the news. We're talking about propaganda and the news cycle. We're talking about Cenk Uygur, who pisses me off, but whatever. That guy, oh man. Does anybody like that guy? I'm just curious. Does anybody like that guy? Okay, so let's see. Beechwood says, the theories on climate change is we only have one Earth. You would need to have more than one Earth to truly apply the scientific method, so you would have to use one as a control, and that's a hell of a point. It's like learning to do the trapeze with no net. If you fail, that's a wrap. Axel says this article vortex is here instead of Canada because the jet stream was too weak to keep it up there. Now, this particular vortex could have happened no matter what. This kind of thing will become more common as the Arctic warms faster than the rest of the planet. All right. So again, now again, sure, fine. That's what they say, right? That's what the climatologists say. But again, we're coming out of an ice age. So explain to me the difference between regular natural warming out of the ice age and these anthropogenic man-made global warming stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like it's almost impossible to quantify because we can kind of have like a thumbnail sketch type of thing, but there's no way for us to know. It's impossible. It's impossible for us to know because we've never actually come out of this particular ice age ever. Right, we can match it to past ice ages that we're aware of and measure it to the best of our abilities. Again, like I said, it's all guesswork. This is all guesswork. And once you start doing like really, really ridiculous things to the planet to try and mitigate these things, you have problems, big problems, big problems. We're going to create more problems for ourselves than we already have. So I just don't. I think it's bad. I think it's bad. Again, I don't think climate science is not a. Damn it, my face is itching. Again, I don't think it's completely bunk. Clearly, there's a lot of smart people that do a lot of the work. But the way the media portrays it in the climate alarmism and the Greta stuff and all this, the kids, the kids at school that are like growing up, saying that they may not have an adulthood and things like this. This is not good. That's what pisses me off. That's what pisses me off. So anyway, yeah. So you see what I'm saying? I get it, but I also don't get it. Like, if literally we can do the geoengineering, then there's time, because we can wait and see. I think we can wait and see. And this is not again, every major weather event now is climate change. Every freaking one, right? You notice everything pops up in the damn paper. Oh, we have a hurricane here, a tornado there. Well, thing's hot, that thing's cold. It doesn't matter. It's all extreme weather now. And none of this ever would have happened, including the California wildfires, if it wasn't for climate change. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on. Really? All of it? Literally everything? Like, so you see what I know you see what I'm saying. Here we go. This is from BBC.com. This is the world we live in. And Nigeria gunmen raid Kagara school and abduct boys. And things like this happen in the world, and it's not good. It is not good. And let's read just a little bit of this. Let's see. Three members of staff and 12 of their relatives were also abducted. About 600 boys were asleep in their dormitories when the school in Kagara town in Niger State was raided. The principal, Dan Sabi Ubadi, told the BBC, holy smokes, that name. The security forces have been deployed to help with rescue operations. The motive for the attack is unclear, but criminal gangs often carry out kidnappings for ransom in parts of Nigeria, says the BBC's Ishaq Khalid in the capital Abuja. On Monday, about 20 people who were returning from a wedding ceremony were abducted after an attack on their bus in Niger State. Their fate is unclear. In December, more than 300 schoolboys were seized in the town of Kankara in the northwestern state of Katsina. They were later released following negotiations with the gunmen. And this is how some people make their money. And this is terrifying. Again, we talked about the boogeyman last night and the evil in the hearts of mankind. And here we go. Like I said, imagine your children being stolen. And here's a perfect example of real world, real life boogeymen snatching children from their beds as they sleep. Terrible, terrible stuff. Okay, let's see. Let's see. You guys are funny in the chat. Again, I'm not the only one. I got the microphone here, but I'll share it if you guys have comments on any of this stuff. 702-957-1037 troubledminds.org. You know me. I'm not going to shut you down if you want to disagree with me or whatever. It's all good. It's all fine and well. It's no problem. Let's go to newatlas.com. This says this. United Arab Emirates Hope probe beams back its first picture of Mars, and this is the 15th. This is a couple days ago, but pretty interesting stuff. There's the first image there that's sent back from the red planet. So I think the United Arab Emirates Hope probe is actually it's going to be in orbit. They're not going to actually land this on Mars. So it's out there doing its thing, orbiting, taking pictures, and so hopefully we should get some new information from this and then in the coming days, which should be pretty sweet. So the United Arab Emirates' first interplanetary mission has passed a major milestone, successfully placing a spacecraft in orbit around Mars and beaming back its first ever picture of the red planet. The Hope probe's arrival marks an important step forward in the country's efforts to explore space, which includes sending a rover to the moon and pursuing a vision of one day building a human colony on Mars. So pretty good stuff here. It's this is, again, right, science is good. Gaining more data is good. Politicizing that data for the lefty righty paradigm and starting fights and dominating the news cycle and all the rest of this is bad. But again, who am I? Just some knucklehead on the internet with a microphone. So anyway, good stuff. So in the same week we see this, the Hope probe. We see the Perseverance just landed today, just a few short hours ago, and the China mission should be happening as well. I haven't seen any news regarding that, but we'll keep an eye on that as it develops, of course. And this is good stuff, right? This is good stuff out there, having a peek at Mars, and yeah, definitely. All right, let's see. Speaking of Mars and some of our favorite folks, We got this guy, Bill Gates. Oh, Bill Gates, one of our favorites. Bill Gates says he's not a Mars person like Elon Musk and would rather spend his money on vaccines than a trip to space. Okay, all right. Okay. The tech tycoons Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos have dumped billions into private space travel with lofty goals to establish bustling colonies outside of Earth's atmosphere. But Bill Gates is more concerned with problems closer to home. The Microsoft co-founder explained why he hasn't gotten involved in Bezos and Musk's space race during an appearance on Kara Swisher's Sway podcast on Monday. Quote, "No, I'm not a Mars person. I know a lot of Mars people," he said. "I don't think rockets are the solution. But maybe I'm missing something here." Okay. Maybe you are, Bill Gates. For all the money in the world, maybe you're missing something. But okay. Whatevs. Gates, who appeared on the podcast to promote his new book, How to Avoid a Climate Disaster. Here we go again. This guy. So he's teaching. He's not a doctor, and he's telling us how to do how we should manage the COVID situation. He's not a climatologist, and he's telling us how to avoid a climate disaster. Come on, Bill Gates. Come on, man. Why don't you tell us how to build a software empire? That's what I want to know. Anyway. Quote, "I'm not going to pay a lot of money because my foundation can buy measles vaccines and save a life for $1,000, Gates said. "Anything I do, I always think, okay, I could spend that $1,000 buying measles vaccine." All right, well, okay. I mean, cool, right? That's fine. When it comes to addressing climate change and curbing emissions in the long term, Gates said people should pay more attention to industries that are difficult to make greener, like steel, meat, and cement. But firms like Tesla have made great strides on the easy stuff, like passenger cars, he acknowledged. Oh, the easy stuff, is it? So why aren't you doing it, Mr. Gates? If it's so easy, where's your self-driving Microsoft cars, sir? Mr. Easy? Come on now. Don't minimize other people's shit when they're doing it, and you're not. Come on now. Musk's interplanetary ambitions. Oh, we already know this. Anyway, so interesting stuff. Bill Gates says he's not a Mars person. Well, we probably knew that. He may be from Mars, but he's not a Mars person himself. Let's take a quick break and a word from our sponsor. We'll be right back. Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up the two accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us. Okay, so let's have a look at this. This is from our Savior has arrived in the form of Joe Biden, and CNN is just purring like a kitty, and they're so happy to have him. And listen to what he said.
Chinese leaders, if you know anything about Chinese history, it has always been the time when China has been victimized by the outer world is when they haven't been unified at home. So the central, vastly overstated, the central principle of Xi Jinping is that there must be a united, tightly controlled China. And he uses his rationale for the things he does based on that. I point out to him, no American president can be sustained as a president if he doesn't reflect the values of the United States. And so the idea, I'm not going to speak out against what he's doing in Hong Kong, what he's doing with the Uyghurs in western mountains of China, and Taiwan trying to end the one China policy by making it forceful. I said, and by the he said he gets it. Culturally, there are different norms at each country, and their leaders are expected to follow.
All right, he said it, not me. He said it. But I think that explains why he's basically a whatever, culturally it's fine, like if you want to put people in concentration camps, detention centers without due process, nobody gives a crap, right? Like whatever. That's a cultural thing. You guys can do that, it's fine. I'm not going to speak out against that or the freedom for Hong Kong. Why would I do that? That's not my business. It's culturally acceptable, says Joe Biden. Interesting. I wonder what he thinks is culturally acceptable for the United States. I wonder if he thinks it's the same thing I do. I would guess probably not. Let's go to this. Now, this is a little bit terrifying. This is from CNN. Just wanted to point that out if you guys hadn't seen the what he said about the Uyghurs and that whole bit in China. So, yeah. Let's read this. CNN reports, forget fingerprints. Artificial intelligence may soon use your veins to identify you. Your veins. Yeah. Researchers say they can identify you from the veins on the backs of your hands. Biometric recognition has become more prevalent in recent years. Facial recognition technology is used everywhere, from airport check-in lines to police departments and even nightclubs, while iris, fingerprint, and voice recognition is used across a variety of sectors for security purposes. I see. Fingerprints can be collected from the surface. Okay, blah, blah, we know this. Quote, vein patterns lie underneath the skin, thus do not leave any imprint, unlike fingerprints, are not available over social media, unlike facial photographs, and cannot be obtained surreptitiously, unlike irises, Shaw told CNN in an email. Therefore, we believe that a vein-based approach will be more difficult to bypass. Interesting. Think about that. So they can identify you from the signature of your heartbeat with a laser. They can facial recognize you. They can determine who you may or may not be from your gait, the way you walk. They can determine who you are from your fingerprints, of course, from your retinal scan. They can determine who you are by the pattern of your veins on the back of your hands, which now you can't even show your damn hands on a camera anymore, right? Because some AI recognition thing is going to start putting a database together. I mean, really? I mean, anyway, cool. I mean, cool, right? Cool. This is cool stuff. Using an off-the-shelf depth camera, an Intel RealSense D415 depth camera, researchers took some 17,500 images from 35 people where participants made a fist and established the vein patterns on the hand. Using artificial intelligence, researchers extracted discriminating features from these patterns. These, they say, could then be used to identify an individual with more than 99% accuracy from a group of 35 participants. 99% accuracy, they say. 35 people, that's a small sample, I'll call it. But if it's proof of concept and it's working to that level of accuracy at that point, I'll categorize that as frightening. Okay, here's more. So much. I just pulled so much of this climate change shit out. All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to just link this and then move on. How the warming Arctic helped drive a deep freeze in Texas. There you go. That's what the Axel was saying. I'm over it. I'm mad. I'm not reading it. Not going to do it. You want to read it? Go ahead. Go ahead. All right. Here we go. Let's go to this one instead. This is this is from the New York Post. TikToker Avani Reyes claims she accidentally put Gorilla Glue in her hair. A TikToker has landed in the hospital after she jumped on the Gorilla Glue bandwagon, saying she accidentally applied the heavy-duty abrasive to her hair. Quote, I don't know what to do. This was an accident. I didn't mean to put Gorilla Glue in my hair, Avani Reyes whines in one of several clips posted on the site. Quote, I need to go to the hospital so they can remove this Gorilla Glue. I have no idea what to do. I tried washing it. It doesn't come off, she says, adding that her scalp is burning. But Reyes' sticky predicament, which follows that of the Gorilla Glue Tessica Brown, has many people saying her story seems a little suspect, and that the TikToker is trying to score her own 15 minutes of fame. Quote, I followed you. You seem like a great person, but you willingly did it after it happened to that lady, and you have the audacity to ask people. Quote, are you just mocking the other person that did this, or did this really happen? Either way, it's wrong. You went to the hospital and wasted their time, another said. And a third said simply, I hope it never comes out. Wow. The internet can be so nice. The internet is such a nice place. In any case, really? Really? This is not, this isn't, are people so desperate for attention? I mean, like I say, you know, get in a shopping cart, on the roof, shove yourself off, roll into traffic, flirt with disaster, and you too could become a star. Is it worth it? Will it be worth it? I don't know. I mean, I say no, but what do I know? What do I know? Yep. So we have right here too, Gorilla Glue Girl GoFundMe page under investigation. This is becoming a thing. This is like the damn Tide Pod challenge. What the hell's going on, guys? Seriously? Is this is where we're at? This is where we're at. And it's a crying shame. It's a crying shame. But yeah, whatever. I mean, has anybody out there? Has anybody tried gorilla glue in their hair? Just curious. I'm gonna guess probably not because well, Anyway, let's see what. What's up, Jay says, so the kids put their hands in a scanner to get into school now. Temperature check, sure. Yeah, exactly, right? Their hands. So not just fingerprints, you could scan the back of your hand for the veins. So even if you could somehow burn your fingerprints off or hide them somehow, then you're, you know, with whatever, pads on the front of your fingers or whatever, or they have those, right? Where you can, you put like a little sticker in the front and you so you can actually give your phone like a fingerprint that's not you. So it's like a sticker that goes over your finger. So it's kind of like a key to get into your phone that's not your actual fingerprint. So anyway, just interesting, and there you go, the world we live in. Anyway, here we go. So this is the last one. We're going to finish up with this. Again, if you guys want to be part of the show, you know what to do. I'd rather talk to you than ramble on about some of these news stories, stupidly sometimes, because that's just what I do. But 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link, get in here, and I'd love to hear from you. This is from Politico. Politico.com. And remember I said this not too long ago, just a few days back even, maybe last week. I said this. NASA reassesses Trump's 2024 moon goal. And so now you start to wonder if they're going to start stripping back some of these ambitious plans to get people back on the moon and onto Mars from that point. So it's been widely anticipated that the 2024 goal would be impossible to meet, given that a new rocket, capsule, lunar lander, and other components still needed to be developed and fully tested. So let's see if they did say the Biden administration said they were committed to this. So let's see what this article says. NASA is reviewing the Trump administration's plan to return American astronauts to the moon by 2024 and will decide in the next few months whether the first 3 missions now scheduled for the Artemis program will need to be delayed. It's, quote, it's probably going to take 2 to 3 months of work to work through all that and determine the feasibility of 2024, acting NASA Administrator Steve Jurczyk told Politico in an interview. At that point, the space agency will decide if we need a different schedule. Okay, all right, cool. Fine. I'm fine with that. Let's just not scrap this entirely, please. It has been widely anticipated that the 2024 goal, which was 4 years earlier than originally planned, would be impossible to meet, given that a new rocket, capsule, lunar lander, and other components would need to be developed and fully tested. But Jurczyk's comments Tuesday marked the first public acknowledgement by the space agency that the aggressive timeline announced by former Vice President Mike Pence in 2019 is in jeopardy. A major obstacle is simply funding for a project that is estimated to ultimately cost $30 billion. Why don't they just print some more damn money? I mean, it's weird how they can just print some money for some things, but not print some money for some other things, right? I think it's weird. I think it's a whole weird thing. You know, I mean, let's just keep printing the money. Let's just, I mean, you know, they own the printing press. Just print the damn money. The NASA Inspector General also issued a report in November that ranked leading astronauts on the moon by 2024 is a top challenge facing the agency. And another IG report also released that month found that the Gateway, a small habitat orbiting the moon designed to facilitate lunar missions, is unlikely to be ready by 2024. So, yeah, there it is. So we'll see. Hopefully they don't just abandon this entirely due to funding, because it always comes down to money, right? Everything comes down to money, and they can print money when they want to, but then when they don't want to, they don't. And here we are, right? Like this whole student loan fiasco, this whole thing that's going on, right? We're going to cancel all the student loan, right? They're saying cancel $50,000 of student loan, right? All right, fine. You could do that. Sure, fine. But then what? Then what? Then cancel all the mortgages. Just cancel all the things. Let's just cancel money, guys. Just cancel money entirely. It's fine. You just get in line, get in the bread line with everybody else. It's no problem. We'll all be good, right? It's all fine and dandy. All right, just kicking it. Got a couple minutes left. We are done though. So I don't know. What do you guys think about all this stuff? Am I freaking out? Yeah. Well, sometimes I freak out. It's part of the shtick here. I'm supposed to wave my arms and raise my voice sometimes. So I do. And but is it justified? Do you think that we should be geoengineering? Do you think that every single weather thing that happens that's quote extreme weather should be labeled climate change? Should be anthropogenic climate change? Is this really where we're at? Every single little thing, and the climate alarmism, and the kids growing up with this climate catastrophe over their head as they're just jamming it down their throats, and all these places and schools, and it's not good. This is not good in my opinion. Like you can't like again, look at Greta. Like Greta's a perfect example. They call her a climate activist. I think she probably needs help. And I know she's on the spectrum or something. I don't mean like that. I just mean that like she's been indoctrinated so hard that she's literally is fearing for her future. And so here's what's going to happen, right, to people like that, unfortunately, is the world's going to continue going as much as it always has, because they don't like to change it, right? The powers that be are doing what they're doing. And so, Greta, she's going to spend her life advocating for climate change, for mitigation factors and whatever else. And she's going to live her life, but it's going to pass her by because she's going to be an activist her whole life. Because they've indoctrinated her to be. They've turned her into a like a soldier of sorts, and this is what they're doing. And fine, maybe she was destined to be a climate person. It's fine. Yeah, like I'm not saying in and of itself it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that like those are the types of extreme examples you get, and have people just saying that the end is nigh, children being the doomsayers. It's just. Again, it's upside down. It's so backwards. It's just so backwards. But okay, just kicking it. Looking to talk to you guys. If you guys have any comments on this or anything else, as always, you know what to do. Give me a call, 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org, and we'll put you on the show. Tonight we're going to do, I don't know what we're going to do tonight. I have no freaking idea. It won't be climate change because I just get mad. So it'll be something else. We'll do something tonight. I don't know. And so we'll have Troubled Minds tonight at 7 p.m., 7 and 9 on Fringe, and then an extra hour after that on Facebook, YouTube, and DLive. And that's what we're doing tonight. And we're at the end of the week. So, yeah, that's tonight's the last show of the week, and still working on some other things. And, so I'll keep you guys posted as things change with the show, because they may or they may not. I don't know. We'll see. Just trying to get everything perfectly optimized and get everything set to actually move off of these platforms eventually, because they're going to come get me. I'm not allowed to say the things I'm allowed to say. So it is what it is. But okay, so that's the thing. That's what's on deck tonight. I don't know exactly what. Quentin says do astral projection. I think I'll wait for astral projection. Interesting. Maybe. I'll see what's up. I'll try and tie it in with the news somehow, so we can have like a fresh, relevant report or something. But anyway, I don't really know. We're gonna do. We'll get back to remote viewing and stuff with Ash a little bit next time, or a couple weeks from now, or whatever. But yeah, so there's tons of good stuff, tons of fun stuff to talk about, and maybe that's a good suggestion. Thank you. Let's see. Explore the Hands Behind the World event. I do not know what that is. I'll have to look into that. Let's see. Beechwood says, I believe they're going to use remote learning to censor curriculum and also to have algorithms go through a process of recruiting the children that are the most capable and turn them into super climate soldiers, right? I mean, I don't know. The world we live in, right? A crazy place. So anyway, we're done. I'm going to say thank you to the folks, to everybody. I'm going to say thank you to all you guys, everybody that's out there enthusiastic about this show, about the things we talk about. And as you know, I'm not right. I have my fair share of right, but I also have my fair share of being wrong. As you know, like this isn't like an ego trip where I'm just trying to beat my fist and prove to everybody that I'm right about everything. I don't care. It doesn't really matter because nobody is always right. Like regardless of the BS they're trying to tell you, they're not. They're just not. So it's fine. It's okay. This is not the ego trip of Michael Strange beating his chest trying to yeah. It's okay to be wrong, right? We still have that right. So again, tonight we'll have that show. Thank you guys for listening today. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for spending your time here. Thanks for being enthusiastic about the topics, the subjects. Thanks for putting up with me when I get a little bit, try to give you a little theater and swing my fists around and raise my voice. I appreciate you bearing with me. And thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for all of the thoughtful chat and spending your time here. And please spread the word. Please let people know that there's a conversation to be had somewhere that's not like other conversations. Let's call it. But okay. So thank you to everybody. Thank you especially to the folks who have supported the show. It does help pay the phone line and the bills and the hosting for the podcast and all kinds of other things that there's a bunch of costs that you probably would never even imagine with this, but they are there, and so every little bit helps. I appreciate you guys. Actually, Johnson contacted me on Discord and said that he feels bad. He wants to help more, because his little Prime sub probably doesn't really do much, but it does do something. So something is better than nothing. And the quote little Prime sub, it means a lot. You stack up a bunch of them, and it starts to pay the bills for the show. So it is good. So don't feel like you're not doing nothing if you've got a Prime sub. It is something. It is something, and it does help. So I appreciate that a lot, guys. Let's see. What else? Let's see. Who else do we got? Dolly says, "Explore the hands behind the world." I don't know what that is. Can you drop me a link in the Discord, please, Dolly, and I'll take a look at that. Let's see. Beechwood says, "We are aware. We may not be right. That's the most important thing if you want the truth." Yeah, I think not everybody's. Nobody's always right, and Sean Hannity will never tell you that. That's Don Lemon will never tell you that. Quint says, "Do we live in a simulation?" That's a good one too. Okay, so if you guys want to, if you have links you want me to go over and for the show tonight, go drop them in the Discord, and let's do it. So thank you again, everybody, for hanging out. A special thanks to these folks who have subbed up to the channel and would like to be on their own Star Wars crawl. Here it is. Special thanks to Tam Bam and Penny Bunny, who are not on this list yet, but they are subbed up to the channel. And let's read everybody else. Don't forget, tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, Troubled Minds. We'll be doing what we do, talking about all kinds of weird stuff. And this show is funded directly by a decentralized freedom squad that answers only to ourselves. Corporate and political interests can jump off. Thank you to AJ Dare, Alien Nichan, Arc Platinum, Axel Steel 3, Dark Devious, FGC Spiral, Guerdo75, Ident, Lizzie Dags, Monochromatic, Nikki Nix, Noble Kal-El, Often Frozen, Quint67, Super Vike, Satan Claus. Special thanks to Noble Kal-El, Bailey, Mr. Ark, and Dwayne Dibley for a combination of boosting the Discord server and throwing out gift subs to folks in Twitch. Appreciate that a lot. And that's what's up. What's up? This has been Conspiracy News with Michael Strange. We will be back tonight in a short 3 hours to talk about something in the realm of aliens, conspiracy, and the paranormal. TroubledMinds.org. We'll see you guys there. Have a fantastic afternoon.